Hello everybody. It is a beautiful September morning here. It's nice and cool this morning to be putting on the bee suit, and there's a slight breeze, but it's not crazy windy. The bees are out like mad on the goldenrod and my sugar water feeders. I am going to suit up and get into these two hives here. You can actually see a wasp just chilling out on this one right here. It is definitely wasp and bald-faced hornet season. I have seen so many bald-faced hornets and so many wasp and yellow jackets trying to get into my hives, and that's why it is crazy important that you have your entrance reducers on right now. Otherwise, they could just completely rob out and kill your entire hive. I am feeding my bees sugar water right now, so I will try to maybe put in a clip of that here in a few minutes once I'm done with these hives. And I'm going to get at it. Okay, so the first hive I'm going to get in is this one right here. We are going to take a look and see what they have built up and ready for winter here. So this time of year, when you're getting in your hives, you want to make sure to remember that fall bees are naturally just more aggressive than your springtime and summer bees. And for a good reason. This is the time of year that they are getting robbed like crazy by wasp and yellow jackets, so they're constantly having to fight to protect their hive from invaders. Mice are possibly trying to move in and take over the hive for the winter. And it's cold. And these bees are not fans of the cold. So they're just going to naturally be more aggressive. So it looks like they've got these frames. What are there? 6 of them? 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. Drawn out nicely, and quite a bit of honey built up on them, to the point that they've started drawing on the top of the frames. But the outside frames are not drawn on. There's 2 on this side and 1 here that are not drawn on. Which is okay. They will continue to work on this a little bit as they need to, as the goldenrod flow kicks in here. And I am feeding sugar water to the bees, not to the entrance of the hives, because I don't want to encourage robbing from the yellow jackets. I use chicken waterers, and that's what I use to feed the bees sugar syrup. Put that back on there. And that sugar water will also help encourage the bees to keep drawing out comb. So I'm happy enough with that one. It's very well set up to probably get them through winter. Let's jump over to this one. And I can see here that that entrance reducer got popped out somehow. So I'm going to push that back in. I always wonder how that happens. Did a mouse get in there and push it out? Were the bees coming and going with so much force that they pushed it out? Like, how does that happen? Get some smoke up top here. I'm pulling out the old Apigard trays. These bees have had 2 rounds of Apigard since I can't get to them with my OAV gun. I need electricity for that. And I do not have enough extension cords to run all the way out here. So I've got quite a few bees on this inner cover, way more than the last inner cover. They have propolized this tray down. So this hive is in better shape than the other one, I would say. All of the frames all the way over are completely filled out. This frame up here is filled out just on one side, not on the other, and then just one frame that is not at all drawn. So these bees definitely have packed in a lot more honey than what the next hive over has. So, but I am confident that both are set up well enough to get through winter. Both have a lot of bees in here. This one right here definitely has more. So we will see in the end how this ends up working out. This was the package install. The one on the left here was the package install. The other one over here on the right, the first one I got into, was the nuke. And then if you guys follow that trail of videos, the package and the nuke both had some fairly disappointing queens. The nuke box I ended up having to help along, and I gave them a frame of capped queen cells so that they could requeen, because they kept trying to, and the queen just would not lay eggs. So bad queens in both of them starting off, and I did just a little help. I wasn't going to do anything to these hives. I did just a little bit to try to keep them alive at least, and now it looks like they are set up well enough to make it through winter. I'll check back in a few weeks, just before like real fall, just before it gets super cold, and we'll check on these hives, and then we'll overwinter them and see how they do. Okay, so I have cut over and added this video here of my sugar water setup. It's just a chicken waterer. I will post another video on how I do this to prevent a whole bunch of bees from dying, because if you do it wrong, you're going to get a whole bunch of dead bees. But for now, I'm going to cut back to the hive inspection.